Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Professor O from ChartAddicts. Hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Today, just wanted to go ahead and just recap, some of the pairs that we're in, just overview of, some pairs we're looking to execute. Um, Other than that, hope everyone is having a wonderful day, and God bless everyone for hopping on the call. So let's just go ahead and get straight to it. So let's go ahead and start off with AUD CAD. Okay, so this is a pair that we sent out, and it is in profits, and just going off a higher time frame. Okay, so let's go ahead and start off on the weekly. So going on a higher time frame, you guys can see we had price being squeezed in this triangle. Okay, so it broke out of our channel, signifying bullish control. Okay, but before that, you guys can see we had a weekly pin bar. Okay, signifying bullish momentum. Okay, bullish rejection, bullish reversal. All right, and you guys can see we have this trend line from here going down, and really quickly pulling up our RSI. You guys can see we had price going up. Okay, so this is some weekly divergence. All right, and simply by going down to the daily time frame, you guys can see initially we had this trend line over here. Okay, and price broke that, retested. All right, and it did break our current trend line, which just gave us some more confluence, more confirmation that bullish control was taken over. And you guys can see we had price creates, the market likes to move in these drives. Okay, so what I'm saying, essentially, when you're looking for reversals, when you're looking for rejection, or looking to get in when price is dying out, okay, you got to keep in mind that price likes to make these three drives. Okay, so you guys can see we have that initial push that created that first drive. We had the pullback, we had that second drive. Okay, we had the pullback, and we have our third drive. Okay, so price loves to make these three drive patterns. Okay, in confluence. Okay, so again, if we bring out our RSI, you guys can see this this green line. Okay, signifying daily divergence in confluence with that three drives. Okay, so essentially price is being pushed down, but price is gaining strength. Okay, so this is essentially manipulation. Okay, so we have price creating that three drives in confluence with the daily divergence. Okay, in confluence with our trend line breaking, and you guys can see we had this head and shoulders formation. You guys can see the blue, the head and shoulders. Okay, and we had another head and shoulders on the 4-hour. If we zoom in even further, you guys can see we had the inverted left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder in confluence with this flag breakout. Okay, so we had our buy limit, I believe, down at the 39135, but we were 6 pips off. We did execute right in time before it did take off, though. Okay, we called that live in our call. So again, we had an impulse up. We're looking for a retest and continuation. Okay. TPs, just looking at the past, you guys can see this was the second touch on the trend line, and the first touch on the trend line is essentially what we're looking to take profits at. TP1, 200 pips, TP2, I believe 400. Right now, we are currently floating 70 pips. Okay. So again, just to recap, we started off on a higher time frame. We saw the we saw the divergence. We saw the pin bar going on to the daily. We saw the three drive formation. Okay, in confluence with the head and shoulders, in confluence with the trend line breaking, and you guys can see it's just scaling down to the 4-hour. I do have my moving averages hidden. I believe I was taking some screenshots earlier. We also did break above our moving averages. Okay, so we are seeing some continuation on this pair. All right, AJ, if you guys recall, we did have a initial analysis on this setup. Okay, so essentially we had that, again, this daily inverted head and shoulders. Okay, we had that well-respected trend line, which has almost 5 touches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We took our initial buy on that 4th touch on the trend line. Okay, and essentially we had this trend line right here, over here. So we had that break, the retest, okay? And then price went up and it came back down one more time, okay? Though it did look like bears were trying to take back control, okay? Because you can see the close of this daily candle, there was no wick, okay? So price did drop back to our second entry. We actually got in on, keep in mind we got in on the fourth touchdown here, okay? So price came, wicked, and closed above, and this daily candlestick did engulf this previous daily candlestick, and we're right back above. You guys can see this blue zone. If we zoom in, a lot of wick rejection, a lot of wick rejection. So I was kind of worried when it did break here, but I knew, okay, if it broke this trend line, then okay, we have some concern to worry about, but it didn't. You guys can see we closed above, and I'm looking for price to continue to the upside. Okay, this is a nice daily inverted head and shoulders, so I'm liking price to go again another 200 pips. Essentially, same with NZD, JPY right over here. Okay, very similar setup. Okay, break retest continuation, and we are floating again 70 pips in profit. Okay, and I believe AJ 60 pips, 70 pips around there. Going on to Euro AUD. Okay. Essentially, we took our first sell right over here. Okay, we had the break and the retest and the continuation. Okay, we did take profits at the neckline. We also called a buy. Okay, this was about 150 pip drop, 100 pip move up to the upside, and we sold at the break of this trend line for again another, I believe, 100 pip move to the downside. Okay, we got that retest, and then we entered again for another 70 pip move. Okay, so now we are at the third touch of this trend line, just looking at price, looking at the past. Again, we broke this channel. We created a new channel, so we were just following the channels. Okay, very simple setups. All right. We did have a strong daily close. Okay. So if price does break this trend line, okay, I do see it did close below our MA. If it does break this trend line, we get a nice break retest continuation. I can see it fall another 200 pips to this second touch of this trend line. Just scaling out a little bit further, we do have some more support on this trend line, okay? So just reading price, we can see some continuation if it does break, but let's just hold off on EA a little bit. Okay, but we did get 150 pips, 100, 100, and then retest, and then we got a 70. Okay, so this was we ate off this pair. Okay, euro pound, we did sell this pair. The reason we sold it was just we had a lot of confluence. We did call the sell over here. It was a false breakout. Okay, fake this out, and price did shoot up. But again, we had some rejection that brought us right back down below this weekly zone. Okay, just simply going on a higher time frame, you guys can see we have a lot of wick rejection in this area, in confluence with this down channel, in confluence with some higher time frame diversions, higher time frame head and shoulders. So we have some confluence. You guys can see our targets are on the right, but let's go ahead and scale it down a little bit further. So we guys see we have this channel, strong daily close. Go scaling down to the weekly. Looks like we did break support and we broke that trend line. Okay, so target one, you guys can see, is the bottom of this channel. You guys can see we have some well-respected support and resistance in the past. Okay, so again, just higher time frame confluence. We had some monthly divergence, monthly head and shoulders, a weekly pin bar from last week, harmonic, okay, and then we are at the 0.9,000, 90,000 psychological region. Okay, so we do have some weak rejection and strong daily closure. Okay, so euro pound, NZD JPY, we went over that. NZD USD, we called a buy on this and it took off right away. Again, just simply going off a higher time frame. Okay, the market, just analyzing the market, we can only move in three ways. Okay, we can either go up, we can either go down, or we can go sideways. Okay, you can see we were going sideways in these yellow zones. Okay, just a couple yellow zones. Okay, a couple regions. Like to have our setups very simple. We did break above this region, strong daily close that engulfed the last 2 days. You guys can see over here, and we did close above our 200 MA. Okay, so essentially, scaling down to the 4-hour, you guys can see we did break this trend line, and this trend line is still being supported. Okay, and just scaling down a little bit further, you guys can see we just had a break, retest, and we actually took the buy off this zone, and price just took off 30 pips, just like that. Gold, again, they NZD USD, AUD USD, they all move alike because they are commodity driven currencies. Okay, so they all follow gold. Okay, so you guys can see we had an impulse, retest, and you guys can see this 4-hour did engulf the last almost 3 candlesticks. Okay, scaling down to the 1-hour, you guys can see we had a break retest of these highs. Okay, and price did end up holding. Okay, after about 2 hours. Okay, we engulfed the last candle, and you guys can see price shot up. Okay, I believe almost, I don't know, 300 pips from our initial entry. All right, and just to recap, okay, AUD CAD, we have our eyes on that. Again, we placed some buy limits right at this 200 MA, so we'd like for price to just come back, retest, and then continue another 200 or around total of 200 pips. Next TP would be about 400. Okay, so that's AUD CAD, AUD JPY still in profits. Okay, we're still holding. Okay, TP about 200 pips. Okay, so if price does break above, retest, we can look for more entries to continue this drive. Okay, so we are at that phase with AUD CAD, but not yet with AUD JPY. Euro AUD, again, we just have to be patient on this. We like to see how price reacts. If we do break below, we can get some further continuation. Euro pound, we did call this sell, and I believe we are in profits. Okay. Again, just a break of the channel, higher time frame confirmations. Okay, we have potential targets. I believe we could get to target 2 at least. Target 3 would be the bottom of this channel. Okay, NZD JPY in profits, still holding. Okay, you guys can see we did break above the last high. We're still holding above these zones back here. So total right now, I believe we are 80 pips in profit. Next TP, 140. TP after that, 200. And last TP, potential 400. Okay. NZD USD, potential 200 pips. I would like to get another retest of these highs for us to continue this movement. Okay, so again, we do have some well-respected zones at this region. So again, just break, retest, continuation. And last but not least, gold. Okay, we are in some really yearly highs. You guys can see we did break our triangle formation. Okay, and we can see this continue from a retest, I believe, of 1438. But other than that, if you guys have any questions at all, you guys can always contact us at our Insta or YouTube at ChartAddicts. Let me go ahead and get that for you guys right now. So you guys, if you guys have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to contact us at ChartAddicts, Instagram, or YouTube. We'd be happy to answer any questions. Again, we appreciate everyone for hopping on the calls. God bless everybody and have a wonderful day.